Okay, guys, so I did a really quick introductory video to Icosa, basically saying that it is something that you should be aware of now and you need to potentially consider this as something to take advantage of to your best interest. I want to go a little bit deeper into Icosa and basically share my strategy. And I'm going to try to give the reasoning behind my strategy and recognize that some of my strategy is time sensitive. I'm going to be doing what I'm doing because I'm early in the project and there's potential advantages for being early. So I'm going to walk through that. What I would like from you guys is to just consider what I'm doing in my reasoning and use that to refine your own strategy so that you're in a position to maximize the opportunity that is here with Icosa. So let's just jump into this here. So this is app.icosa.pro. When it launches, this is going to be the place that you're going to want to go to do the majority of the things that I'm talking about here. This video, by the way, does take into account some knowledge already on your part in Hedron and HEX. I'm going to try to just stick to my Icosa strategy and not explain anything in too extreme of detail because I think that will overcomplicate the video. If you have questions, more specifically of anything related to this video, then let me know and I can try to answer those. But this is going to be more specific on my strategy. So here I am in Icosa page. The first thing that I'm going to do on Monday, the 15th, when Icosa launches, is I'm going to take 25% of my tokenized Hedron HSIs. I don't know why I always say 25%. 50%. 50% is going into the HSI buyback. That is, in my opinion, relatively aggressive. I don't have a ton of Hedron HSI tokenized stakes. So, of my HEX portfolio is a relatively small amount. But when I do this, and you need to realize this, if you give your HSIs to the HSI buyback, that HEX and that Hedron associated with it are gone. You do have the ability to potentially buy them back later, but until you do something, those are gone. And I will talk about my strategy for potentially buying those back. But I'm going in relatively heavy here. And like I said, this is time sensitive, and I'm going heavy in this way because the project's early and there's a potential advantage for doing this. So I'm putting 50% in here. You'll have the ability, it'll look right here. You'll show your tokenized HSIs here, and you'll have the ability to give them to the contract over here. So let's go up here. So when I do that, I'm going to get Icosa. And I'm going to get Icosa. I'm going to take all of my Icosa, put it into staking. So I'm going to take it all and put it in there. And I am going to talk about the reasoning behind this. So the ways that people are going to get Icosa is either going to be Hedron staking or doing what I talked about here with the HSI buyback. That's really the main ways people are going to get Icosa in order to get in this pool. Hedron staking is the other way they're going to get it. They're going to get Icosa, and the minimum stake length, if they're doing it this way, is 30 days. And that basically means people aren't going to have access to their Icosa that they're staking for until the end of 30 days. That means there's going to be a period of 30 days where the only people that are in this staking pool are the people that have sacrificed their HSIs. And I want to take advantage of that. I want to be one of the few people in here getting a relatively large percentage of the Hedron and Icosa that is given to this pool. The percentage of Icosa that I have in this pool is going to be the percentage of the Hedron and Icosa that I get. And there's, depending on how aggressive other people go, we'll see what that ends up. Also, worth talking about, my HSI stakes that I'm going to be sacrificing are 5, 5, 5, 5. If you have HSI stakes that are 5, 5, 5, 5, staked to 5,555 days, you get a 10% bonus. You get 10% more Icosa. If, as I'm telling you about this, by the way, now early, this project is not out yet. If you were in a similar position with Hedron, you got in early, there was also a bonus, depending on how early you got in. And how early you made your HSI stakes, you may have a multiple. The multiple is between 1 and 10. Mine happened to be a multiple of 9, so I got a 9x. When I was in Hedron, my HSI stakes have a 9x multiple. I'm getting 9 times more Hedron than otherwise, than people are getting now for the same number of HEX T shares, which is great. But when you take something with a 9x multiple and, for example, and give it to this contract, you get another 9% bonus. And so if you got in on week 7, you get into Hedron, you get a 7% bonus here. If you got in on Hedron on the first week, you get a 10% bonus here. So for me, I end up with a 20% bonus for that, which is awesome. So I'm going to take, like I said, I'll take all of it, put it in to Icosa staking. And the idea is that I would be a relatively large percentage of the pool, and I would get a relatively large percentage of the Hedron and Icosa, and put myself in the way of being a relatively large holder of Icosa. That is that part of the fun. Over here, Hedron staking. So let's talk about this. I'm going to take, so up here it'll show the Hedron that you have. I'm going to take 50% of my Hedron, and I'm going to put it into Hedron staking. And like I said, when you stake it, it's going to be locked. I think there's going to be penalties. You can take it out earlier. I'm not even considering that. I'm just going to let it ride. And you get Icosa from this, but the minimum length is 30 days. And so basically, your tokens are there. They're locked. And you get Icosa from it. That's great. But I'm putting 50% of my Hedron here. I'm taking another 25%. So the 50% of the 50% that's not going here, 25% I'm saving to buy HSIs. Oops. HSI. And I'm wondering what is going to happen, because people like me that gave their HSIs to the Icosa contract, the contract's going to take those HSIs and default on them. So in 90 days, they're going to show up here, and people are going to be able to buy them. You have to buy them with Hedron. So if, for example, the course of events so happen that there's not a lot of Hedron available and people want to buy these, and the reason maybe there's not going to be a lot available is because maybe people YOLO'd in on staking, so they don't have it available. The supply is significantly lower. Maybe I'll be able to buy back my HEX, because I like my HEX. I want my HEX. So I want to leave the opportunity open for me to buy back HEX here through this is Hedron.pro. So I'm going to save, as I said, I'm going to save 25% for the, make my little pointer smaller, 25% for HSI, buy. So I want my HEX, and then I'm going to save 25% for, there's a chance, I don't know what's going to happen, and so that's kind of why I'm diversifying and not going all in on any one thing. But there's a chance that the price just goes astronomical. And I tend to be a holder, but if price rises massively, I want to take some off the table. And so that remaining 25% is going to be the funds that I have set aside to sell my Hedron. If the price, and I probably won't sell all of it, but it'll be there for selling. Also, I want to have something, I want to never sell all of my Hedron because I also want to be able to borrow against my HEX stakes in the future, and I want to have Hedron set aside to make the payments, because if I borrow against my HEX stakes, the payments are in Hedron. So I want Hedron HDRN for payment, HSI borrow payment. So 50% here of my Hedron, and then 50% of my HSIs. Oops, 50% HSI here. So in the first 30 days. So that is my basic percentage allocation for what thing, the basic reasoning behind it. There's advantages for being in on this early, as I've tried to show, because you have a chance of being a larger percentage of the pool, a little bit easier. And I'm trying not to go all in on any particular one thing, because I don't know which particular portion of this whole system, game theory, and whatever are going to have the most opportunity and want to be able to act on it. That is my current strategy. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's questions. And good luck to you. I hope you have a great day. I will talk to you later.